Hi and welcome to this video where we're going to go through how you can build your own custom build where you own it email enrichment system. So if you are targeting other companies and you have a prospect list or you have leads, it's always nice to have more data and a valid email for all of those leads so that you can actually reach them. This is relevant in a couple of cases. So one, if you are using LinkedIn as a way to generate inbound attention, let's say people comment on your posts or you scrape leads, then this system is going to work for you. Or if you're running cold outbound or if you're running cold email, you preferably want to have a valid email to reach out to. So in those two cases, what I'm about to share with you is going to be super relevant. And at the end of this video, you have gone through the full setup, how to integrate and how to make this system yours. Because I'm going to share templates with you, both for how to store your leads, but also how to enrich them with a valid email. I'm going to give you two systems and tools that you can use, and then go through how to use them to actually enrich your systems. So I'm going to scroll through the tutorial that is below this video. You can just read through this as well, and you will have links and you will have things that you can go to download. I'm going to show you how you can actually do that as well. So I want to keep this video relatively short because then it's just plug and play for you. So really, this system came to be when we saw that we were generating thousands of leads a month for Bureau. And all of that came from people commenting and reaching out to us. So we wanted to reverse engineer and find their email. And the question then is, okay, where do we find and get the leads from? And for us, there are a couple of sources. So one, we run outbound and we want to have an email for someone so that we can reach out to them and we can save them in the CRM system so that we actually have appropriate data. The second case is all inbound leads and ensuring that the emails that we get are valid. So one of the things that we cover in this tutorial is to some degree covered in another outbound campaign tutorial that you can find here. Also, we are using N8N to set up this automation. So we're going to go into N8N and build the entire flow in N8N, and we have a template that you can import. However, if that is something that you are, let's say, a bit uncertain about using, we do have an interest form here in terms of how to skip or show us your interest in terms of skipping N8N. And when we get enough people to show interest in this, we might build something completely separate that you can use instead. Anyway, that was a bit of digressing. So let's get into it. So there are two systems we use to enrich leads and find their emails. We use something called Trykitt and Findymail. Findymail is I would say, the holy grail. And the reason for that is that we to some degree built the system to further enhance the enrichment that we had. And Findymail was able to find 50% of those that our original system weren't able to find. So it was able to find a lot of emails. This is a paid service and it costs per enrichment of emails found. So if you run a lead through the enrichment and it isn't able to find an email that is verified, you're not going to be charged for it. So you can click this link to find it, to sign up for it. And this is how it looks. You have different pricing tiers, but usually you probably only need the smallest one. So the first thing that we need to do is that we need to import the N8N template. So if you click this button here, you're going to get to this page. And if you click the download button on this page, you're going to download this file. Now, if you have an N8N account, amazing. You can just import it there. If you don't, there are two ways you can do this. One, you can go to n8n.io and you can sign up here. This is a paid service, so it starts at 25 euros a month, which is about $25 a month, or $29 a month, and it gives you 2,500. That is fairly limited. The other way you can do it is that you can buy a VPS and a server, and you can self-host N8N. Again, a bit more technical, but that way you can do it unlimited. Now, how do we import it? So again, it's also shown in the guide. So you click the three buttons and you hit import from file. So we're going to do that. 3 buttons, import from file. We're going to select the file that we just downloaded. That is going to give you this. There's still going to be a bit of additional support here in terms of how to set up, how to do these different things, but we've imported the template. Now we need to set up the account. So you need to have your Trykitt account and you need to have your Findymail account. So you will below here find the tutorials for how to get the keys, and that's the next step. So in Trykitt, you can go to API key and you can copy it from there, as you see in the image here. And in Findymail, it's a bit of the same thing. You go to API, and I'm just going to do demo, and I'm going to hit create. And then you're going to get a key like this. I'm going to delete this afterwards so you can't really use it. So now we need to update those. So the first is you need to go to Trykitt, and you need to replace this. So input your key here. Once you've done that, that's done. Now Findymail is a bit different. So Findymail, you need to click this and hit create new credential. And you want to paste the API key here, and I'm just going to do demo account so that I can delete it afterwards and hit save. This is then going to verify it, and it's going to be tested successfully, and then it's done. And then you just select the demo account in here. That's everything you need to do to connect this. So once you've done that, the accounts are set up and you're ready to get going. The next step is handling your lead storage. So to just make this easy for you, what I've done is that I've created a Google Sheet document that you can use. You can copy it, and then you can use that. And if you click this, you're going to get to this. And here you have all of the data. So you have the name of the lead, the LinkedIn profile, username, title, about, location, profile scraped, profile details, company scraped, company details, company website, email scrape details, and tool used for email scrape. So how this works is that the only thing you need to do is that you need to add in the name and the profile URL of the lead that you want to enrich and find their email. So first off, hit file, make a copy, and then you have a copy. Now, next step then is you need to connect N8N to your Google account. And for that, we have two things that we've given you. It's the link to the official integration and a video that we've recorded for how to connect N8N to Google. And once you have that, what you will be able to do is that you go in here and you are able then to connect the account. So create new credential, and this is where you need to connect it. And then you can select the template, select leads, and then input, as you can see on my screen right now. And you do that for all of these. And once you have these, you will be able to have this going. So once you have this all done, you hit save and publish. And what's going to then happen is that this runs on a schedule. So this will check every 5 minutes whether a new lead has been added in here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give this a go. So I'm going to find a LinkedIn profile, and I want to see if I'm able to find their email for. So I'm just going to open LinkedIn, and let's do Martin. So I'm going to then paste in his profile, Martin Collardo. I'm also just going to take his username and do it like that. So now I'm not going to wait for this. So I'm going to actually hit execute workflow. And this is then fetches, and it gets one. So one, again, this is not working because I actually need to input the key here. But as you see now, since it ran, it is not able to run it again. So I'm going to then take this and then delete it, and then I'm going to rerun it again. And there we go. Trykitt was not able to find the email, so it then went with Findymail, which was able to find it and then update it. So if I then go back, you can see that it has his email, and then it also has all of the details that Findymail was able to find. So the title, company, and these different things. So that's really how it works. So now this would run on a 5-minute schedule, and I can just take profiles that I want to enrich, just add it in here, and it would go. So I'm going to just delete this, and that's really it. So we're now at 10 minutes. One thing that you might have seen is that you have different other data in here. So you have kind of like the title, about, location, profile scraped, so that you get a lot of data, and the company details and the company website. So one of the things is that this enrichment system is just one piece of a greater system that we help companies set up. And that's a system that we help with more than 58 companies that generates millions of impressions a month and millions in pipeline every single month. And it was one of the things that was responsible for us generating 10 million impressions just for Bureau in 2025, 170,000 comments, and 65,000 inbound leads. And we built this system to run through and enrich all of those leads. And if you want to learn more about that system, what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring up something on the screen now, and that is how that overall system looks like. So no matter what your company is all about, or actually this didn't open, so I'm going to copy. I'm going to go here and then open it. So I'm going to open, there we go. Now we can see it. So no matter what type of company you have, there are 3 things you need to do. 1, you need to generate leads. If you already generate leads, that's amazing. And you just run this enrichment system to those. The next thing you need to do, which is surprisingly after having worked with companies since 2011 doing these things, a lot of companies forget. And that is you need to nurture those leads and actually build trust. Because trust is the number 1 currency that you want to build in your marketing. If you don't build trust, you're trying to push it, you're trying to force it. And then you need a way for someone to repay that trust and create value in the bottom line and top line revenue for your company. And the interesting thing with these things is that if you don't have the middle thing, for example, it's going to be really, really hard to do the rest. And I'm just going to give you a very, very quick one in terms of how this actually works. So 1, the things that we put emphasis on are you want to reach out to people on LinkedIn and you want to post things on LinkedIn. That content, the things that you post about and the things that you send to people are typically an educational piece of resource. That could be a guide, tutorial, video, webinar, tool, prompt, system, whatever it is. This video in itself is one of those. It's a video and it's a tool and it's templates and it's a guide. And when we share that, we generate leads. Those leads are then brought into the enrichment. So the enrichment that we did was basically a system that sits here. Once we have those leads, people then consume that content either by reading email, clicking emails, reading the guide, viewing the page, these types of things. That triggers what we call the trust system. And a trust system is where we can gauge their activity, their trust, we can segment the leads. And based on that, we can understand, okay, how should we change our delivery and marketing to every single lead individually so that they have a more likelihood of actually trusting us. So that changes how often people get more content, which again gives them opportunity to engage more, which allows us to understand more about them and customize their journey even further. And this just spins around and around and around and building the trust in a systematical way with absolutely everyone that you have. And then that leads to them coming to you at the end of the day asking for help. Because if you then build trust, you become the go-to company in your industry solving the problem that they have. Because one aspect of this, it is that it plays to reciprocity. You give them a lot of things. They're feeling inclined to return that favor. The second thing is that we've hit something called the mere exposure effect, which basically is the more you see something, the more you think it is credible, authority, and a trusted source. So if you hear a saying 100 times, you're more likely to trust and believe in that saying than if you've heard it just a couple of times. And that's what ends up happening here. So at the end of the day, you need a way to generate the leads. You need a way to build trust with those leads. And you need a way to convert that trust into top line and bottom line revenue for your company. This system works. This system has been developed for more than 10 years. And it has helped, and it is helping 58 companies right now on generating millions of impressions, millions in pipeline, and thousands of leads every single month. So if you want to learn more about this, we would actually like to extend an invitation to you. And that is down below this video and on this page, there is a booking calendar. We want to invite you to have a 30-minute strategic workshop with you to go through and see how this system could be implemented in your company. This doesn't fit for all companies, given the different types of stages companies are in. So what you need to do is that when you book, you need to fill out a bit of information. And after you booked it, you need to fill in more information for us to be able to prepare and understand if this is the right fit for your company. But that call is supposed to give you an idea for how you can do each of these pieces and how it would actually work in your company and how we recommend you to actually do it. So if that's interesting, click down below, find a time, and we would love to speak with you. Aside from that, I hope you now have the steps to implement one piece to the puzzle, which is the enrichment of the leads that you generate so that you can push them into a full-on marketing infrastructure. With that being said, I hope this was useful, and I wish you a great rest of your day.